we've made it this far. We've made it to the portal, and here's where the fun really starts, because this is the thing that most people dread, and I've been putting it off for a while myself, and I haven't looked at it for quite a while because I haven't uploaded any products to it in a couple of years or so. So this has all been a bit new for me as well, but we're going to go through it together, and I'm going to help you out a little bit, hopefully. I'm going to go through the portal with a normal cosmetic product and then also with a cold process soap, because cold process soaps are what I'm doing and they are a little bit more complicated. But we'll do it all together, so don't worry. First thing we'll go over is just the front page. If you are not in the UK and you want to sell in the UK, this still applies to you. So if you're in America and you want to sell your soaps worldwide, including the UK, then to sell your soaps in the UK or the EU, you will need to get a CPSR. And if you want to sell here, you will need to report on our portal. So it says here, it sounds pretty scary, and it is really, but you can face a prison term and fines. So yeah, don't not do this. So basically, you'll need to tell them what your cosmetic product is. You'll need the name and details of your responsible person, and you'll need a little bit of information about your product, basically the formulation, and also a picture of your label and the product. The good thing about the portal I've noticed now is they have what they call frame formulations. Now, if you can find one of these that fits your formula quite well, then you can actually use this and then you won't have to upload your formula. So for example, because I do soap, there is a frame formulation here, soap dash toilet. I'm not sure why toilet, but anyway, this is the one you go for if you had a bar soap. And it's basically got a maximum concentration rate for each different thing. So this would mean that your total saponified oils are up to 99%. So, I mean, that would fit because no one's, there's always going to be extras after that. Glycerin up to 20, humectants. This can actually include sugar. I did mention that in my label video. Sugar is actually a humectant, so that you can fit that in that category if you've got it. These probably won't apply for a soap bar. Oils, I know we've got oils up here, but this is basically, count this as your super fat. So if you have a super fat of 5 or below, then you can include it in this frame formulation. Parfum is your fragrance. We'd only use up to 3% anyway, so that would fit. Colorants, titanium dioxide, colorants being anything with a CI number and your natural colorants, etc. If you've got anything like that in a soap bar, I don't think you'd necessarily have one in a saponified soap, but anyway. Plant extracts, and then preservatives and chelating agents. Your citric acid would go here if you wanted to add it. And then water, that's not up to 100, that's whatever those are, the rest to make up to 100%, basically. So if your formulation falls into this, it doesn't have to fit in every category, but if the ones you fall into are within those numbers, then you can choose frame formulation and you don't need to upload your own formula, basically, which is quite nice. So do have a look at these. There's some for skincare. What else have we got? Hair removal, shaving products, makeup. There's lots of different things. So have a look and see if anything fits yours. And if it does, then you're lucky, and it's going to save you a hell of a lot of work. Right, I am going to go through a portal notification for a body butter. So let's go to create new product notification and go to question. Product name. So this can be the name of your product, but you'll also want to write body butter if that's what it is, because you don't want it being ambiguous. You want them to know what the product is. So I'm just going to put strawberry body butter. This is a fake product. I'm going to delete this at the end. I'm not going to submit it, so we'll just continue. You can use this to identify your products. Do you want an internal reference? I say yes, and I add my formula code. Remember we talked about formula numbers and batch numbers. This is where I'd add the formula number. So I'm going to do BBS and then 001. So body butter strawberry 001. That's just an internal reference. That's just for you. You don't have to have one if you don't want. Is the product intended to be used on children under 3? No, it is not. I don't make baby products, therefore I don't. Nanomaterials, it's very likely that the answer to this will be no, but check your assessment. If there are any nanomaterials in your product, then your assessment will tell you that, but more likely than not, there won't be, and you'll be able to click no. Is it a multi-item kit? This is for things like hair dye, where you have to mix 2 products together, things like that. So no, this is not. This is just a single product. Upload an image of the product label. So I'm going to just choose a file. This is just any old random picture that I'm adding, but you basically need a picture of your label. So if you have a PDF or a JPEG of your label, that's perfect. You can also upload more than one image. So I often include an image of my front label, my reverse label, and then just a photo, a product photo of the product as it is. So it can be clearly identified. So if you add those to here and then save and continue. For some reason it likes to tell you the task is complete, so you can just go to continue. Is the product available in different shades? This would be for something like a lipstick, an eyeshadow, an eyeliner pen, makeup, hair dye, things like that, where it's the same thing, it's just available in different colours. Whereas we have a body butter, and yes, it might be available in different colours and different scents, but those are different products because they're different fragrances, different designs, etc. So in this case, it would be no. Physical form of the product. It is, if you look at all of these, cream or paste is the thing that best fits for our body butter. So we're going to click that and continue. Is the product contained in a typical non-pressurised bottle, jar, sachet or other packet, or a pressurised container? It's not pressurised, so we go for a typical non-pressurised bottle, jar, sachet or other package. Now this question looks a little bit scary. Again, you can probably assume no. But if there are any, then your assessment will tell you that. So always refer to your assessment that you got from your cosmetic safety report assessor. So I'm going to click no because there are none. What category does it come in? Body butter would be skin products. Continue. Skin care products, skin cleansing, body hair removal, correction of body odour. So if you look at all of these, skin care products is the thing that fits it the best. Continue. And then what category? So body care products, because technically it can be hand and foot, but we're not limiting it. So we're going to say it is a body care product. And then here is where you offer them your formula. So if your formula fits one of these frame formulations, you can choose this. If not, you will need to upload a CSV file of your ingredients in their exact concentration or in a concentration range. Now, I'll go over this when I report for my soap, and I'll explain how you do it for a body butter then, but for now we're just going to choose a predefined frame formulation, continue, and then pick it from our list here. And let's just say that fitted it the best. You'll have to check in these that it does first though. So here we have the poisons information service. You need to sometimes alert them if your product contains something that they need to know about. To find out what those are, click this tab and it takes you to this page, and you can find all of the different things they need to know about, including essential oils. But it seems to be anything more than 0.5% weight for weight. So if it's less than that, I don't think you need to register it with them. But I mean, they'll know about it in your ingredients anyway. But look through your CPSR, check in your assessment. That will tell you if any of these things are present, and then if they are, you know that you then need to notify them on the portal. And the way we do that is by going here, and then we'd click yes. In most cases, it would be that you could just click no, because unless you had essential oils, you wouldn't need to, but I'm going to show you by clicking yes what happens next. And it takes you to this page where you'd put in your ingredient name, the weight, and then the percentage, and then the CAS number if you want to, but it's optional, so why create more work for yourself? Obviously put in the INCI name here, not just lavender. They do need the INCI names for everything. I'm going to say there's 1%, and then I won't bother with the CAS number. And then you just save and continue. And that's it. You've registered that in case they need to know for the poison centre. So it's that easy. It's nothing, it doesn't say your product's dangerous or anything. It's just something that you have to do. Then pH-wise, you're likely to be between 3 and 10 unless you've an anhydrous product, in which case it would not have a pH value. And then you click continue. And then that's it. That's that simple. You've got everything on here. You've used a frame formulation, so you haven't had to enter any formula or anything. I'm going to click cancel because I don't want to submit this because it's a fake formula. But if it's yours, you'd click continue, and then that would submit to the portal and you're done. And it really is that simple. So the next thing I'm going to do is now delete this, and I'm going to go through this for a cold process soap and you can see how different that is, and we're going to use a CSV file to upload our formula, and I'll show you how that works. For a cold process soap, it's a little bit different. So we need to open Excel or Numbers if you have a Mac and do a little bit of maths, I'm afraid. Here I have sort of a fake assessment info table. So when you get your cosmetic safety report back, it will have some tables in it. And if you have sort of a flexible assessment or has a few options in it, you'll have something that looks a bit like this. So your base formula will be at the top here. It'll have the ingredient names, the INCI names, and then the max concentration. If you are just doing one formula, everything will be in this top table and you can just go by these. If, however, you have a flexible assessment and then there's additions that you can have, etc., those will be in separate supplementary tables. What we need to do is take the INCI numbers for one, because in cold process soap, it doesn't turn into the normal INCI for shea butter. It would turn to sodium shea butterate, etc. So you need the sodium INCI numbers because they're the saponified oil INCIs. We use those. We'll need the max numbers from the table, and we'll also need some of these. So what I've done is I've taken these numbers and I've put them in a table over here. And basically this kind of helps me just organise everything. You might want to do the same, or you might have your own way of doing it. But down the side here, I've basically put all of the things from the assessment. And remember, this is a fake assessment, so don't use this recipe because it won't work. But all of the things from the assessment. So I've got my base ingredients for my soap, I've got any extras I can use, and then I've got a melt and pour base here in case you're someone that wants to do embeds and drizzles and things like that, because it gets a little bit complicated then. So what we're going to do is, this is essentially the table that needs uploading to the portal, just this section here. And then this is where I'm going to do my working out, and then we'll copy and paste this into a new CSV file afterwards. I just like to keep it all here where I can see it because it's easier to work out. Okay, you can see here I've added some extras now, so we've just copied them across there. And what we're going to do is just take the maximum amount we're allowed to use of those. So I believe it is 5, 3, and 5, and the reason I'm putting them over here is because I don't want to affect this number down here, but they will be taken as a maximum. Now we need to work out our minimums, and to do that we do a little calculation in here. So we do equals the maximum divide by the total of the base recipe, and then times by 100. Now we want to copy that formula down so that it does all of these for us. So to do that, we just need to put a $sign in there, press enter, and then that'll allow us to copy the formula down. And then that gives us all of our minimums, and those are our maximums. Now we'll leave those numbers here because we don't want to affect this calculation. So we'll first copy and paste our maximums and put them in the maximum column here. Then we'll take our minimums, copy, and put them in the minimum column here. And then we'll take these extra numbers here, and then remember they go in your maximum column, because the minimum you'll always be using of the extras will be 0, and the maximum will be the maximum in your safety report. So min, max. Then you take this information in this table here and we put it in a new Excel template and save it as a CSV, and that's what you upload to the portal. This bit here is whether your ingredient needs to be reported to the poison centre. This is usually something like essential oils or something like that. If you do need to report it, it'll say on that list of ingredients that need reporting that we looked at earlier. If you do need to, then you just change this to true, and it's as simple as that. But if not, if there's nothing to report, they can all just be false. So I hope that makes sense, and we'll move on to the next part. And this is what will go on the portal. Now, where I got these headings from, you can go on the portal, and when you go to upload your CSV, it does give you the option to download a template. All the template is just those headers. So you can do that, or you can just copy what I've got here. But it's probably better to download the template, because you know how the cosmetics portal does like to change things quite frequently, and by the time you watch this video they may have changed, so it's probably best to download the template. But we've done that now, so let's go and report our soap on the portal, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, here we are doing cold process soap. So create new portal notification and go to question, and this will be Let's just call it a lemon soap bar. You can call it whatever you like, but remember, you want to say what it is within this name so that it's clearly identifiable. Then continue. Do you want an internal reference? Yes, I do. That's my formula code. Like I said before, you don't have to do that. You can just click no. It's not important. It's just I like to do it. Is the product intended to be used on children under 3 years old? If it's not a baby-specific product, then no, it won't be. Your assessment will also confirm whether it is or it isn't. Continue. Nanomaterials, again, very unlikely, but if they are, they'll be on your assessment. So I'm going to click no. Continue. Is it a multi-kit item? No, it's a single product. It doesn't contain multiple things that you mix together. Choose files for the product label. So I'm not going to upload a label at this point because I am just doing this as a demo. So we'll just pretend that this file that I've uploaded now is a label. And like I said earlier, when we did the body butter one, if you have multiple labels, a front and a reverse, then have both. If you have just one label, just have that. But I'd also click save and upload another image and do a photo of the finished product as well, or two. You can have front and reverse as well, as like a PDF or JPEG of just the label. Basically, the label has got to be clearly visible, but it's good to have a product image as well. And then save and continue. Task completed. Continue. Is it available in different shades? No, like I said before, unless you're doing a lipstick, which is exactly the same apart from the colourant, then it's no, it'll be a different product. Continue. Physical form, solid or a pressed powder. That's no, the way they word this is a bit weird. It's not solid or pressed powder. Is it a solid or is it a pressed powder? So it is a solid because it's a solid soap. And then it's not pressurised, so typical packaging. Again, this would be on your CPSR if there were any, but most of the time it's very likely it would be no. What category of products is it in? It's in skin products. Skin cleansing products, because it cleanses, it's a soap. Soap products. Continue. And how will you provide the formulation? Now, before you saw we picked the frame formulation. If yours fits the soap/toilet frame formulation here, by all means do that because it's a lot easier for you. If it doesn't, or you have a flexible assessment, you want a bit more flexibility, then go for upload CSV file for ingredients and their concentration range. This just gives you a little bit of wiggle room and it's a lot easier. You can enter it all manually if you want, which means just going to your spreadsheet and then copying each different thing in one by one, but what's the point when you can just do a CSV? It's a lot quicker once you know how. So upload a CSV file for ingredients and their concentration range, continue. And then if you want to learn about them, you can click here and then that will give you the template for you to download so that you can then upload to the portal. We don't need to do that because we've already got it, so we're going to choose file and then portal demo CSV, open, continue. Right, this has been a problem I've seen people having, so I am actually going to go here and then download the template, open the template, there we go, and then it looks like it has changed very slightly, so let's get our information and then copy and paste it into their template because they do love changing things. and then we'll resave it like that. Back to the portal and what we were doing, choose file. Continue, and there you go, and it's accepted it. For some reason, there must have been some slight difference in that, but so download their template and it will work. Then we continue, task completed, continue, and that's it. You're here again, and we just need to confirm all of our information there, and then we just continue to submit. But again, this is a fake one, so I'm going to cancel and delete the draft. And then it asks you for a security code, which it sends to your phone. There we go. And then that's been deleted. And that is all there is to it, really. I say all, it is a lot. Basically, the easiest way to do it is to do yourself a nice little spreadsheet to get everything all organised, and then get your CSV organised in advance, get your label pictures organised in advance, get your product pictures organised in advance, put it all in a folder in your computer, so as soon as you go on the portal, you're ready to just click, 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 done. And once you've done it once, you'll find it so much easier to do it the next time. I hope this has helped you. If you have any questions, put them below. I will try and answer them for you. I have done a lot of research and troubled my assessor with a lot of things to kind of work all of this out. And it is a bit of a faff, but once you get used to it, it's not too bad, and you can just get in the habit and write yourself some notes or refer back to these videos next time you need to do it, and hopefully it will help. And I'll see you in the next video, which I believe will be product photography and finishing off all of my soaps before my launch on Friday the 30th of August. So I'll see you in those videos, and speak to you guys soon.